Hey everyone, I'm Amy Zellmer from Faces of TBI, and welcome back to the Brain Health Online Summit Training Series. I myself am a TBI survivor from a fall on the ice in February of 2014, and myself, along with Dr. Jeremy Schmo from Minnesota Functional Neurology, we saw a need in the brain injury community for more training and education on just alternative healthcare methods and modalities for those suffering from the lingering effects of a brain injury. So our goal with this summit is to help educate and bring awareness to this invisible injury that affects 2.8 million Americans each year and is the leading cause of death and disability worldwide. Each day you're going to hear from 4 to 5 speakers, and they're going to share their experience either working with brain injury patients or their real-life experience of living with a brain injury. And today I'm here with Jennifer Tavernier. She is a personal trainer, an American Ninja Warrior athlete who has competed nationally for the past 2 years with televised appearances on Team Ninja Warrior, and her team won the Season 1 championship. She's also a mother of 2 young girls and uses Instagram to inspire people to get strong, gain confidence, and pursue their passion. So as you may have guessed, Ninja Warrior can be a jarring, extreme sport when competing at the highest level. And after taking some hard falls in competition, Jen had multiple undiagnosed concussions that began to affect her daily health and well-being. Since working with Dr. Schmo, she has made huge strides in regaining her wellness and the ability to compete at a high level again. She's currently struggling with vertigo, balance, neck pain, but finally has hope of a full recovery. Dr. Schmo's guidance and expertise have been critical pieces in her recovery process. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me and letting me share my story.
Yes, I think you have a great story. As an elite athlete, I can just see where it's much more frustrating because you're used to functioning here. And all of a sudden a concussion takes you back to here. So I'm going to have you share your story of how you suffered your most recent concussion.
My most recent one was fairly mild, actually, but because of the previous ones, I felt the symptoms much more intensely. I was just training, and I kind of took a bad landing and landed on all fours and just snapped my head down as I landed. But brought me right back to all the symptoms that I'd had earlier this year when I had a really nasty whiplash concussion.
Yeah, and so you'd had several previous concussions that went undiagnosed, right?
I did. It took until this last concussion for me to figure out what was going on. I had been to doctors, several of them, and I got mono earlier this year, so people thought it was still I did too, but some of the symptoms overlap.
Right.
We didn't know what was going on, but definitely has taken me out this year. It's been a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm also very happy to have found Dr. Schmo, because I am finally getting some answers and making progress. So that makes me really happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can totally see where the mono can overlap, especially with like the fatigue and the just not feeling right.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what happened. I had some nausea, that was different. But then, all of the fatigue and just, that's mainly what it was. I just felt like I had no energy to do anything.
Mm-hmm. And headaches, right?
And headaches. That was similar to mono. I had a lot of neck and shoulder pain, but I figured that was just from the whiplash.
Right.
And difficulty reading, a lot of sensitivity to light and sound. Driving has been really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Information to process, and then if I have my seat, like I cannot handle it.
Yeah, I remember driving in general I had to try a lot harder. And then at night, it was like I wouldn't even go out at night because it was like you have street lights, stoplights, tail lights. Like it was hard for my brain to process what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when you were training and you fell, I've seen the video, and it's just like, it doesn't even look like that bad of a fall. I mean, relatively, with what Ninja Warriors, what you guys do out there, and you've probably taken worse falls before.
That was a pretty bad one.
Yeah, it was, but it's like, that cumulative process of multiple concussions and not even really being aware that was happening.
Right.
And then to finally come to the realization, oh gosh, I think I have a concussion. How was the journey of finding Dr. Jeremy?
It was pretty fast. I threw something out on my social media, and I had several people write me and give me his name, and I'm a big fan of functional medicine, and so it was an easy choice to decide to go and see him. So it was that part was fast once I knew what was going on. But last summer, after the really bad concussions, I was lost, and I didn't. I thought it was just mono. So
right,
that was a struggle, because I mean everybody ran tests and no idea what was going on. So I was like juicing.
And then I imagine within like an hour of meeting you, Jeremy could tell you every single thing that was wrong.
Yeah, it was such a relief to go in there and just have him verify and validate how I was feeling, and that well, your eyes are doing this funny little square pattern, and taking 3 times as long to focus on something as they should be. That's why you're so tired. That felt really good to hear. And then just all of the different ways that he's found to help me be able to run again and to get back some of my quickness and coordination. So slow on my right side, and yeah, I couldn't run. I'm still working on being able to jump and to be able to run outside with all, everything processing, but he's helping so much with, giving me very specific drills to do. And then, all blood work that he did. I wasn't expecting that either with his background with the functional neurology, or with the functional side of the medicine. Finding some interesting things there too that I didn't know were going on. So I've been very, very happy.
Yeah, and I would imagine, dealing with mono on top of it all, I can only imagine, the complexities. As an athlete too, I think it's even more frustrating because I hear this over and over. You're used to performing at this level, and now, like, I'm sure you kind of went through a period of like, even doing a couple jumping jacks like probably wore you out.
I really can't do jumping jacks. Really
right.
Hard to this whole year since I've gotten mono, and then the concussions complicating it's been very emotionally difficult. Just looking back at videos from a year ago, from before I got sick, and knowing that I'm not there. And I tried to take a HIIT class this year after concussions, and I just ended up having to leave. I was just crying. I was so frustrated. And then just having to tell people over and over, like, I can't come, I can't be there, I can't compete, I can't train with you guys. And people, it's hard, my friends have been supportive, but I know some of them really don't understand.
Yeah.
That's hard.
And I know, like, when I had my accident, I remember just even like carrying a bag of groceries in from my car was like I had to lay down after I brought him in. Like, it was so much work.
Mm-hmm.
And people just can't quite comprehend that level of exhaustion. Especially when you're an athlete. I was by no means an athlete. Nor do I pretend. But I know for me, it took me over a year and a half just to even be able to do yoga. And I'm talking super basic, simple standing poses. It took forever even just to get back to that. And, that I think that's what's so hard for people who've never experienced it or been around someone that's gone through it. I think that's what's so hard to understand, is that level of stamina and exhaustion, that fatigue. It's really real.
It's debilitating. It really is. I mean, for a few weeks after this last concussion, I couldn't work out at all. I was like barely walking around, and couldn't take care of my girls. I was just asking over and over for their dad to help me. I called my mom. I said, "Mommy, I don't know what's wrong with me, but you gotta come. You gotta help me out." So
Yeah, and that's where it's important to have those support systems. So what kind of exercises did Jeremy have you doing? What kind of magic did he help you come up with? I know, like for me, it was just simple eye movement exercises. It was just amazing at the results.
I'll pull it off the wall. I've got a little chart. That's one I've probably done the most. So my, like I said, my eyes were doing little square patterns, he called them, because I couldn't focus. And then when my body's moving on top of that, so I posted this on the wall. I started with even bigger dots than this, and arms distance, arm and a half distance back from the wall, and then just stare at it and turn my head.
Yep.
And up and down, and then he's added a little bit of complexity to it as we've gone on. I'm moving my head a little faster and walking with it. Do another one where my one thumb is out and one thumb is back, and I'm kind of in a warrior stance, and then I switch positions. This is another one, kind of beat up now. I've used it so much, but
I hate those. My nemesis.
I still don't do very well on the up and down.
Me either.
Let's see. I've posted a bunch of them on my social media if people want to go look. The figure 8, where I'm going like this with my hand and then matching with my leg to re-coordinate, reconnect my body with my brain with my leg and my arm. So those are like at home drills, and then a whole bunch of stuff when I'm in the office. Board where I'm hitting lights really fast. Does like arc wave stimulation on my neck, lots of massage. I've had a cranial massage 2 days ago. Oh, it was amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
For like 24 hours and it was gone whole rest of the day. Prolo gel, like on my nerves and stuff, where everything was irritated on my nerve endings, was flared up from flashes. So lots of stuff.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize like how impactful whiplash is, and like if you have whiplash, you have a concussion. There's like no way around it. Like if your neck did that, your brain did that too inside your skull. And the damage, like Jeremy explained to me in my situation, like the spinal cord, it was like somebody wringed out a towel. And that's kind of like what happened to my spinal cord. And that's, where all that information passes through. when I found Jeremy, I was 2.5 years out, and I was still struggling with my whiplash pain. And within like a few months of working with him and the ARP machine and the Prolo gel and all that, like once that whiplash, the pain subsided, that's when we started seeing lots of improvements with the eye exercises. And I don't quite know where you are at yet on your path with the whiplash, but that was a journey.
It's kind of up and down too. It depends.
Yeah.
I have more going on in my day, and I have to be driving around and running around. It seems like I take a little bit of a step back when I can limit my time on my computer and be more consistent with my exercises. It does help, but yeah, this has made a world of difference. I think that was contributing to some of the nausea too. So, but yeah, I mean, my neck and my shoulders are night and day different.
And I watched some of your home exercise videos, and I watched you were doing the figure 8, and you were trying to do the opposite with your leg, and you just kind of like stopped, and I could like just see the brain trying to figure out, what do I need to do? And I'm like, oh my God, I still struggle with those exercises, but like they help so much. And as an athlete, and you were a fitness trainer, and you've been on both sides of that, and it's like, what is your advice to any other athlete who is going through this?
Sure. I mean, for one, I just want to say out there to people who maybe have some of these symptoms, I mean, I really didn't know that I was dealing with concussion, and I've fallen quite a few times and gotten whiplash since I started into training. If you have some of the symptoms, like, it's totally worth going to a functional neurologist and getting yourself checked out. Get your eye movements checked and see if everything's normal. And then once you're there and you've got a diagnosis and you're working through some of the exercises and trying to get to your appointments, I think for me, I mean, this whole year, just giving myself some grace and allowing myself to not be where I want to be and where I was.
Yeah.
That's really hard it takes so long, and just to like being able to keep giving yourself room to heal and room to say no to things that you just can't do. I think that's a tough thing to do, but you've got to do it to let yourself.
Yeah, patience. Patience is really, you have to have a lot of patience when recovering. And so you're a mother.
I am.
So think about what advice would you give parents, if their young athlete is struggling, like you said, it's hard for people to understand what we're going through. And so many people want to get right back into the game and keep going. And we know that that's, not always the best chorus. What advice would you give to parents?
Sure. I mean, again, just the same thing. Just be patient with your child. And it's hard probably to understand what they might be going through. I mean, I would even have a hard time. We always are guessing what our children are feeling. They tell us some amount, but watch how they're feeling, and if you notice that they're really, really extra tired, or they're just not themselves, give them a break, pull them back a little bit, and let their bodies and their minds catch up. So just take it slow.
Yeah. And they might be like extra agitated, or not able to focus on things. They're having trouble processing. Those are the things to look out for.
Reading is so hard.
Yeah, reading. Reading was really hard for me. Did you notice the same thing? You had a harder time reading?
Yeah, reading.
Yeah.
Just being on my phone at all.
Oh, yeah.
Scrolling, all of it. Just watching movies.
Yeah.
Been able to get there, but yeah, all of that was way too much at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And so have you gotten back into training with your Ninja Warrior team?
Not to ninja training. I have not to a ninja gym, I should say. I have been training for Ninja Warrior by going back to my gym and doing what I can there. I've done a lot of weightlifting just this year, since that didn't bother my head quite as much. And I've done a lot of biking the last month. Dr. Schmo recommended that, and that actually made a world of difference too, just being able to get some blood flow up into my shoulders and my neck and my head, and that just felt better. So I've been going back almost every day and just trying to push the line a little bit. Know where it is, and that's always hard to find. But I like to work hard, and I like going to the gym, so it makes me feel better to be able to be there. And on the days when I don't feel so much, then I bike. At least try and do 20 minutes or something and get a little bit of movement in. But
and I think that's a great point too. Like, you might not be able to do the level of what you had been doing, and finding something that is comfortable, like bike riding. Like, I know people who can't even really walk because their heart rate just gets out of control, but they can ride a recumbent bike.
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, actually. Like, walking is much more irritating for me.
Riding
the bike. But that's fine.
Different motions. Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever can get that blood flow up there, I think is worth it.
So, Jen, any other words of advice and support for anyone watching?
Thanks for watching, first of all, and listening to all of our stories. I think I just want to spread awareness, because for me, I didn't know what was going on. And now that I know, I've been able to make so much good progress, and just feels better to know what's going on. So yeah, whiplash equals concussions.
Yes, it does. And I think that's an important message for people to understand.
Yeah, I
think particularly in car accidents, you didn't hit your head, you're fine, even though they have pretty bad whiplash.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Jen. And I wish you so much good. I'm sending you lots of good vibes in your recovery.
And you as well, as you continue.
And I know it's a struggle and it's a journey. But I know you'll get back there. I can't wait to watch you again on Ninja Warrior.
So much. More patience and persistence.
Yeah, and just give yourself grace. And when you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And it's okay to take a nap.
I had one earlier today.
Good for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So thank you so much, Jen, for being here. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And just remember, you are not alone in brain injury. And I will see you guys all again on the next episode.